Hello, Gemakei, and welcome to another look at Gemakei Snapshot, where we're going to take a quick look at the first hour or so of a recent video game that's come out. Today, we're going to look at another DS RPG called Radiant Historia, developed and published by Atlas. It's kind of a dream team collaboration between the Shin Megami Tensei Entry and Odyssey team and Tri-Ace, makers of other games like Star Ocean and Valkyrie Profile. So, the big crux of the game is it takes place in a medieval fantasy world where there's two warring kingdoms, and they're both kind of trying to stave off this desertification of the world, where the whole world's going to get consumed by sand or something or other. Well, the big hook of the game is time travel. Yes, of course. Just like Chrono Trigger before it, the game relies on a heavy mechanic of going back and forth through time. However, the crux here is that the game actually wants you to play out scenarios multiple times. It's not like you do one thing that affects the gameplay kind of forever, sort of like Chrono Trigger. This one, every time you go to a save point, you can basically access a timeline and then go back to points as many times as you wish just to see every alternate angle in view of history. Because of this, the game, of course, has multiple endings, which, of course, I've not got anywhere near. But the concept is kind of sound. The game is traditional RPG, and the fact that it's turn-based. However, the enemies all fight you on a 3x3 grid. And there's a little bit of strategy because the main point of the battle system is to knock enemies into the same spot as the other enemies, so you can then just wallop hit two enemies at a time. It's simpler than it sounds. I actually do like it, and it is very fast-paced. You can also tweak the turn command a bit. It's kind of that Final Fantasy X-like turn menu, and what you can do is you can opt to wait out, take a hit, and then position it so all three of your guys will go at once if you're spread out. So, little strategy. I kind of like that. Kind of dig it. Seems to have a sort of Fire Emblem rock paper scissors mentality with its. Spears are good against swords, but swords are not good against axe. Whatever. Haven't got too far into that, but that's kind of seems to be the way it's going so far early on. Graphically, it's nice. It uses 3D landscapes, but 2D sprites. Now, I do have to say the 2D sprite work is a little weak. I mean, there's not a lot of animation to the characters. They kind of just have a very stilted thing. Like when they're running or walking, it kind of almost looks like they're running in place a lot, just because of how basic the sprite work is, but not a huge deal. The music in the game is composed by Yoko Shimomura, of course, who did Super Mario RPG, Legend of Mana, and the Kingdom Hearts series. Her work is always excellent, and here is no different. Although, to compare it, I would say her work sounds like the more serious tracks from Legend of Mana. Safe to say, though, the music in the game is actually really excellent. Probably its strongest point so far. Really dig it. As for the setting, like I said, it's about two warring kingdoms, and it has there's kind of like two types of Japanese RPGs. There's the super melodramatic, overly serious type, and then there's the very whimsical, almost fairy tale like journey. This definitely is the former. This is a very serious, very melodramatic game. The characters aren't annoying so far. They're actually pretty likable, which is nice, but the look, the art style, the 3D, landscape with 2D sprite characters, it all reminds me of another Tri-Ace RPG, which was the first Valkyrie Profile. It's very much like that. It looks like that. The battle system is actually kind of reminiscent of it, and the storyline has the very same sort of super, dark, dreary, like almost depressing quality. So, if you're a big fan of Valkyrie Profile, and that was an excellent game on PlayStation 1, you should check out Radiant Historia. For my money, I'm actually getting into this game, and I'm enjoying it a lot more in Pokemon Black. But, that's not to say Pokemon Black isn't a good game. Pokemon Black is so far an excellent game. It's just, if you're kind of more into the serious story side of stuff, I think this will be more the RPG for you. Whereas if, you enjoy the social, easy to get into aspect, go for Pokemon, of course. But so far, I think the game is very much worth anyone's time. It's got an excellent soundtrack. It's got a quick-paced, fun, and strategic battle system. and it's got, of course, multiple endings and all kinds of replay value. So I would say check it out. It's well worth your time and your money, and this is Gemakei Snapshot.